Hello, and welcome to the Friendly Pharmacy 5, the Polkaroo virus. My name is Lindsay Dixon. I'm from British Columbia, Canada. I'm a pharmacist with over 10 years experience. Let's get to it. So, they're talking about lifting restrictions in a few weeks. So, before we venture out, there's some things we need to think about. I'm going to talk to you about Polkaroo syndrome, super spreading environments, lower risk environments, some personal hygiene considerations, and 3 important questions to ask yourself before you go out. So, those of you who are my age may remember the polka dot door, and the polkaroo would appear out of nowhere, and the whole show you would be waiting for the polkaroo to show up. In this case, polkaroo syndrome is something that I created. It's not real, but it is something that I have thought of many times in relation to the virus. So my definition of polkaroo syndrome is the fear we feel when we go out, that the virus is on everything and everywhere, the masks people are wearing, plexiglass barriers, the looks we give each other while trying to physically distance in stores remind us that the polkaroo is out there. It is dangerous and will show up when we least expect it. The ultimate common goal is to come home without bringing the polkaroo virus with us. The reality is, most of us are not washing our groceries when we get home because we don't need to. Most of us have regrettably touched our face when out in public, more than once, myself included. Few of us have wiped down our door handles, light switches, and other high-touch surfaces daily since this started. We may have done it many times, but not daily, and most of us have not gotten sick to our knowledge. So the truth is that the virus is not everywhere, but it is out there and we can't see it. So we need to be vigilant and not fearful. Our efforts don't have to be perfect, but we must do our best. So we don't have to live with polkaroo syndrome when we go out. So let's talk about some super spreading environments in which we're more likely to contract the virus. There was a Japanese study that showed that the odds that a primary case transmitted COVID-19 in a closed environment was 18.7 times greater compared to an open air environment. So it's very clear that closed, confined environments are riskier. So these include spaces with lots of people, lots of touching, lack of hygiene, and events involving many young children that are not your own. I am referring to birthday parties, family reunions, family get-togethers, barbecues, all that kind of stuff if you have young kids, because you know that physical distancing and hygiene with young kids is very difficult. So lower risk environments, grocery stores, car dealerships, large box stores, and garden stores, because these are open air environments where it's easier to physical distance. Activities with lower risk, so obviously outdoor activities where physical distancing is easy, such as tennis, soccer fields, parks, trails, golf, and biking. Now, these lower risk activities could be higher risk if more people are flocking to these areas all at the same time. So this is a little bit fluid here, okay? So you still have to think through these. So before you say yes, so the calls are going to come, the invitations are going to come, everyone wants to see their friends and family. But you need to ask yourself before you commit, am I able to social distance at this event? Am I able to adhere to proper hygiene? This is where I thought about camping. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go camping, but you need to think about this and how you can take care of the proper hygiene requirements at a campground or wherever you might be going camping. Are other individuals respectful? So this is a question around who you are going to choose to gather with and when, and are they being respectful of the guidelines? So moving forward, we must be excellent at a few things. We have to be excellent at washing our hands and not touching our face. We have to wipe down surfaces daily, or at least more than we are now. We have to be excellent at physical distancing and teaching our children about this and about proper hygiene. We must think through every activity very carefully before we commit to it. We cannot make an emotional decision. Emotional decisions are going to get us in trouble and they're going to cause spread of the virus. So the moral of the story is that the polkaroo virus is not everywhere, but it is going to be with us for a while. We don't have to be perfect, but we must do our best consistently. We must be wise in our decision making about future commitments. Let's not mess this up. So be wise, save lives, plank the curve. I know we can do this. Thank you.